Today I'd like to discuss some of the negative ways that funders behave, which I will aptly call crappy funding practices. You are a fresh college graduate and you want to work for a nonprofit organization. You search the job boards and find a great opportunity in fundraiser queue. However, they do not post their salary range. This is a crappy funding practice. You decide to apply anyway. You're interviewed 4 separate times before you were hired, and your salary is less than you hoped. Unfortunately, you passed on 2 other jobs because you really wanted this one, so you must take it in order to pay your bills. This is a crappy funding practice. This is Fundraiser Q's Board of Directors. Notice anything similar about them? Age, race, gender? There's absolutely no diversity within the board. Who's going to relate to these guys? This is a crappy funding practice. You take a different position as a grant writer at Nonprofit M because you're so great at it now. You are working from home because the government has mandated a lockdown to control the pandemic. Yet Fundraiser Q, who you are writing a proposal for, demands that the paperwork be printed out and hand-delivered. This is a crappy funding practice. You finally finish writing that grant proposal, work your booty off to get it turned in on time. It takes Fundraiser Q almost 3 years to grant your proposal. This is a crappy funding practice. That happened because Fundraiser Q decided to turn their grant proposals into a popularity contest by asking their consumers to vote by liking the nonprofit's picture on their various social media sites. This is a crappy funding practice. These are all awful ways to do business, especially in a field where the entire goal is to contribute to an important cause of the funder's choosing. These are all crappy funding practices. Do not be like Fundraiser Q. The author of the nonprofit AF blog, Vu Lee, created the Twitter hashtag crappy funding practices to call out those funders that have been doing reputable harm to the fundraising community. Here are a few companies that he has called out over the past year. Recognize any of them? Colleagues, we are the future of America. We must do what we can to make a positive difference, even if it means calling out crappy funding practices right along with Vu Lee and his nonprofit peers. When posting advertisement for jobs, all companies should post salary expectations. Doing so ensures that new hires are not being paid differently than others based on their demographics. That, my friends, is discrimination. They can't know for sure if they don't know the job's salary, though. When interviewing for a position more than once, it makes sense to offer compensation and/or accommodations for second and beyond interviews. Otherwise, it lessens the chance that anyone of low income could earn that position. Not to mention, people should be compensated for that length of time. The least the business could do is pay for the interviewee's hotel stay, airfare, gas mileage, etc. When learning about the fundraiser in which you wish to work, make sure that the board of directors is diverse in age, race, and gender. Having a well-rounded board makes for a better nonprofit, both in business practices and in their ability to relate to their nonprofits. Fundraisers can do so much good in the world. This is why they exist. That is why people donate to their cause. If they continue these crappy funding practices, they sully their reputation as a donation option, as an employer, and as a funder. They very well could completely lose their foundation. Please continue to call them out because the world deserves better.